Hey there, I'm out in my food forest again today as usual, but the video today is going to be a little bit different than usual. I'm sure you've noticed over the last few years we've got these worldwide organizations in conjunction with government and social media and legacy media, the news, radio, TV, television, all together pushing an agenda. They're censoring things, they're reporting on only what they want you to know, they want to tell you what to think. The topic of this video is nothing new over the past few years, but they're doubling down, tripling down on this. They're not even hiding it anymore. It's out in the open. You got the World Health Organization putting out medical guidance, governments taking that guidance, and then ordering social media and media to follow that guidance. Everything else is ridiculed. They don't want people to have freedom of choice when it comes to their own health. And it's here on YouTube. YouTube has already started to censor and shadow ban videos about alternative health. Things that are known to work, but they don't follow the agenda from up above. It's completely ridiculous, and it's a very personal subject to me. I'll tell you my story here in a little bit. But first, a little bit more about what's happening here on YouTube. You may have heard of Dr. Berg. He put out a video recently about how he's being shadow banned. Searches on some of his largest topics don't even show any of his videos. He has hundreds of videos, 11 million viewers, should be at the top. Instead of Dr. Berg's videos showing up at the top of the search results, typically you'll find negative videos about the subject matter. Don't be fooled. This isn't an attack on Dr. Berg. This is an attack on you and me to limit our options. If we don't know what the options are, we have no options. They want us on medications forever to treat our symptoms. They're not interested in curing our ailments. I'll tell you my personal story and why this is such an important topic to me, and then I'll follow that up with some things we can do about it. I was diagnosed with hypertension, high blood pressure about 5 years ago. The doctor put me on some medication, and she said I was going to have to take that for the rest of my life. I didn't really mind that at the time, as long as the medication worked. But after about a year, my high blood pressure started going up, and I went into the doctor, and she did some blood tests, and she said that not only is my blood pressure going back up, but my triglycerides were very high. She put me on another medication for the high triglycerides. I didn't know at the time, all she's doing is hiding symptoms of what was really wrong with me. My body did not agree with that second medication she put me on. I went back to the doctor, and she wanted to put me on yet another medication, and I politely declined. I had made up my mind that I needed to do a little research on my own if I wanted to get to the root cause of what was going on. I did some research on the blood pressure medication that she put me on, and also what causes high triglycerides. Both Dr. Berg and Dr. Ken Berry, their videos kept popping up over and over. I believe it was one of Dr. Ken Berry's videos where I learned that the medication for blood pressure that I was on could actually cause triglycerides to skyrocket, which in turn could cause your blood pressure to go up. So I knew that I had to get off the blood pressure medication. Then after a few days, I watched more and more videos from both of these guys, and I learned that diet actually can have a lot to do with high blood pressure. Both of them were recommending keto with intermittent fasting together. So I tried it. And while I was doing this diet, I also searched for natural cures, natural remedies for high blood pressure. I found that almost every plant in my food forest can help. It's all right here. So I settled on katuk, there's some right there, and hibiscus. So I realized that, these plants may be only temporarily lowering my blood pressure, and they may be masking the root cause, but that's what the medication from the doctor was doing. This is a much better solution, in my opinion. So time went on, about 3, 4, 5 months, I'm not sure exactly. I was on this keto intermittent fasting diet. And it got to the point that my blood pressure was so low, I slowly weaned myself off of the blood pressure medication that I was taking. And I haven't taken it since. And so after a month or so of being off my medication, The diet was keeping my blood pressure low. I lost 25 pounds. I watched more and more videos from these two guys. So I started adding carbs back to my diet, just as a test to see what might actually make my blood pressure spike. And I found that wheat, pretty much anything made of wheat, makes my blood pressure go up. I found a video from Dr. Berg where he talked about wheat and the evolution of wheat over time and how it's changed so much that the wheat today is just not healthy anymore. And there was even another video from one of these guys that talked about how eating wheat can actually reduce your vitamin B, and taking a vitamin B supplement can help your blood pressure. So I added that to my regimen. So today I'm completely free of blood pressure medication. I control it with my diet and supplements that I learned from these two guys. This is by no way scientific proof that any of this works. This is just my experience. It's factual and true, but it's anecdotal evidence. They don't want us knowing about this information. They want us on drugs for the rest of our lives. They want to treat our ailments. They want that cash cow over and over, monthly payments. They don't want us to know that we can cure ourselves. All we need is the information. We have those sources of information available to us now, but not for much longer. And here are some things that you should do right now. It's very important. If you need this kind of info, you need to go search it out now. You need to memorize it. You need to learn it. You need to download it. You need to buy books. You need to make records. You need to consume this information while it's still available. The second thing you need to do is start growing your own food. It's not only about not starving. The food that you grow is going to be higher in nutrition, and a lot of that food is actually medicinal. These plants I grow in my food forest, almost every one of them that's edible is also medicinal. So grow your own food. Do research about the food you're growing. Do research about plants that you should be growing for your particular conditions. Research the wild native plants that grow in your area. Dandelion is medicinal. There's a virtual pharmacy of weeds all around us. Learn it, know it, because that information is going to be gone soon. Research your specific condition and find out what is the root cause. And then find natural remedies that can help mitigate that root cause, maybe even get rid of it completely. If you're on medications now and you're having complications, research those medications to see what the side effects are. If you have 2 or 3 different medications, they could be all working together to make you sick. Follow Dr. Berg and follow Dr. Ken Berry. Follow anyone else you want to as well. Follow these alternative health influencers. If they're going to move to a different platform because they're being censored on YouTube, you need to know when they're going to do that and where they're going to be so you can find them, so that you can continue to get this information that we all need. Learn it. Pass it on to your friends, family, children, grandchildren. Make this generational knowledge. We need to get back to knowing things and not relying on an industry that just wants to treat us for life, for money. I hope you found this video helpful and interesting. But just remember, as a disclaimer, this is not medical advice. This is simply my opinion, my story, which is factual and true, but it's only anecdotal evidence. Out.